Hey, Toffles.
How are you doing? I'm just getting set up here and just going to be drawing a little bit of Joker stuff for this, at least for the start. Let's see how long we go this evening, or late night. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you stopping by for a moment. Hope you're having a nice Friday. Hey, Icy. Hey, King. Hey, War over on YouTube. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Hope everybody's having a nice Friday evening so far. Hey, Luna. Welcome in, 19. How are you doing this evening? I am doing all right, thank you. Welcome in, Mr. Jayhawk. Just getting started here, trying to do a little drawing on a Friday night. So appreciate everybody who is stopping by and hanging out for a little bit. What's everybody got planned exciting for the weekend? Grocery shopping and watching football. Very good. Practical and fun. Sure, I will probably dabble in each of those this weekend as well. This might sound a little weird to admit, but I actually kind of enjoy grocery shopping sometimes. Just get to roam around and I don't know. Like I said, it might be weird. But I might very well be weird. And I am okay with that. Welcome in, Merle. How are you doing? As long as the kids don't cry about it. Yep, I got you. Well, I'll throw in a little caveat to what I just said. That I enjoy shopping by myself. How about that? Let me get out by myself sometimes, and I don't mind. I'll offer if groceries need to be bought. I don't mind going out and roaming the aisles for a little bit. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm kind of a stickler for people watching most places. If I'm traveling, I like to get to the airport or get to destinations a little early so I can kind of chill out and see what's happening. Sometimes I'll have a sketchbook out. I'll try to do some quick gesture drawings of people as they roam by, but I do enjoy people watching quite a bit. Sometimes it's kind of fun to try to imagine your own backstories for people as they're going about their day. Yeah, nice. So who are you rooting for this weekend, Jayhawk? Chiefs. Nice. Very good. I'm gonna admit something that I'm not very proud of at the moment, but I'm not even sure who's left in it. No, I know the Chiefs are in it. I think the Bills are still in it. Um, I'm not sure who else at this point. I know the Lions were upset, right? I'm a lifelong Dolphins fan, so kind of kind of lost track of some of the other teams after ours went kaput. Eagles and Washington. So Eagles, Washington, Bills, and Chiefs. Huh. Yeah, I might be rooting for the Chiefs in that scenario too. Oh yeah, what part of New York did you live in? And what did you do while you were there? Watertown. Not familiar where that's at, but I'm assuming since you're not rooting for the Bills that it's not around in that area. Is there another? Are you a Jets or a Giants fan or anything? Oh, nice. What branch of military was your dad in? Army. Excellent. My dad was Air Force, but we didn't move around a lot. He was already out of it by the time we were around. Never quite followed in his footsteps in that regard, but it's kind of funny. Later in life, you start to think maybe I should have done something like that. But where'd you go overseas? Very good. That must have been pretty exciting. How old were you during that period when y'all were living overseas or just moving around in general? By the way, if I've missed anybody who has hopped in here, welcome in. I appreciate you hopping in and taking a look, hanging out at the drawing board for a little bit. If you are unfamiliar with what I do, you feel free to take a look through the bin. I have some of my sketch covers, sketch cards, sticky note drawings, and some other things listed there. Otherwise, you're free to, well, hang around, watch as I butcher this Joker, and yeah. Oh wow, from an infant to about sixth grade. All right, so you've got a. I imagine that's. So on one hand, it sounds like it's probably a lot of fun, but during that stage of life, was it more fun or was it? What was it? What was it like moving around and living in those different places? That's actually learned how to make friends fast. That's actually sounds like probably a pretty important, pretty good thing to pick up. I was sort of the opposite growing up, to where I was a lot slower to make friends. And when I was in high school, I always tell this story. I ended up in the International Baccalaureate program in high school. Um, Looking back, it's probably not a program that I should have been in, considering the trajectory of my higher education and career afterwards. But the benefit for me in that scenario was that I was basically in the same group of classes with the same group of kids for 4 years. So it worked out for me because by the time I graduated, I was actually pretty close with a number of them. And so that was worked out for me in the long run. But yeah, I've never, I always had, I never was a fast friend maker. So I envy you that, because that is a great skill to have, and a skill that not many people probably really think about too often. Do you get to do much traveling now? Is there any place that you've been that you really like? Where's your favorite place to go? I'm looking for travel recommendations. Very good. Arizona. That is on my list. I would love to visit Arizona. My wife and I were talking about places we'd like to visit because we want to we want to just do more traveling. And Ireland sounds really enticing to each of us. So I don't know. Might not be might not be in the immediate future, but that might be something that we start thinking about more seriously. All right. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you next time. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. Hey, Rio. Welcome in. Welcome in. How are you this evening? Welcome in, Griselda. How are you doing? How are you doing? Hey, Beardy. How you doing, John? Welcome in, welcome in. How's your Friday evening? Yo, how was the shop today? Now, are you off this weekend or will you be in there at all? Do you actually get a couple days off? Off the whole weekend. What the heck? How'd you manage to swing that? Well, good for you, sir. So now what are you gonna do fun and exciting to enjoy your 2 days off? Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. We're getting there. We're making a little bit of progress. Trying to get back into the habit of doing streams, but now I'm realizing that my new bad habit is once I schedule a stream, I end up punting a little bit. I keep having to like move the schedule a little every so often. So, that's inside baseball. I don't think anybody really cares to hear me whine. Oh yeah, yeah. No, we're trying. We got to get you doing some whatnots on the shop. Hey, did you ever hear back from MegaCon about your ticket? No. Dang it. I see Capullo's now on the list. So funny that they're still dropping people onto the schedule. And Capullo and Snyder have one of their extra ticketed events available. That just came up today, I saw. Oh, they just had Cho too. I think that one's past me. Cho, nice. Of course, I haven't looked at the cancellations list recently, so I don't know who's on that one. Well, I think I mentioned Marcus was looking. He might be doing Thursday or Friday. He's not sure yet. I have a ticket for Friday. If you end up with your ticket, if y'all want to ride up together, I'm game. I can drive. I actually broke down and got a vehicle this week, so I am good to drive if anybody wants to tag along for a little MegaCon day trip. Don't worry, my rates are reasonable. I haven't heard back yet from Marcus though. I don't know what day he has landed on. I did see they just loaded a test schedule or a dummy schedule, although I don't know what could change from that. Well, I guess a lot of things could change. They just loaded kind of a test schedule for some of the activities. So I think Marcus was waiting to see what that looked like. I know on Friday it looks like there is a Todd McFarlane talk on Friday. There's also a couple of nice looking sketch duels with artists. So Friday, I haven't looked at Saturday's schedule because I'm not going on Saturday, but Friday's schedule looks pretty enticing if it doesn't change much from that. Oh, stop it! I've already bought my ticket, man. I'm good. I just got to go pick it up at Will Call when we get up there. Yeah, I'm tempted to maybe just. I do want to see the Todd McFarlane talk, although I imagine that will be kind of crowded. So I definitely want to work in some sketch duels because it might be kind of cool to walk away with some pieces. I saw Nakayama is doing DNA is doing one of them. Clayton Crane was listed on one of them. They've got some good talent doing the sketch duels. Again, provided that schedule is the final schedule. I have. I definitely have. Um, my only thinking is, and I would be interested to sit in on it, but I'm also wondering sometimes those panels they have exclusives that they'll give out. I don't know if that's the case for any of his. I'd have to do a little more research, but that would be probably why I would consider it. Aside from that, I think there's some sketch duels that kind of butt up against his talk, so that might be a good time to grab a sketch duel if a lot of people are heading into his talk. But I don't know. I haven't been to a con like this since 2017, so I don't really know what to expect. I'm just, and honestly, I'm only going up for the day. I was already kind of thinking I'd just roam around Artist Alley, and you're gonna be waiting in lines in those for things. So it's gonna be kind of limited on one day. To gotta be kind of selective with what we end up doing, I think. Welcome in, Steph. How are you doing this fine Friday night? Appreciate you Hopping in here for a moment. Yeah, I'm going through some this weekend. I'm gonna see what I've got and see what I feel like trying to bring up. And then I might also just end up being that weird guy that like um, stops and takes photos with YouTubers as I run into them. Might be that kind of convention. Because I'm weird like that. Welcome in, She-Hulk. How are you doing? John and I are just sitting here chatting about MegaCon a little bit. If anybody else in the chat is heading to MegaCon, let us know. It's coming together a little bit, I think. We are making progress, making progress. Welcome in, Chicken Nugget. How the heck are you? Oops. Bob the Tomato, welcome back. How are you doing this fine Friday evening? Or Friday night? I guess technically it's past evening. Doing great, doing great. Well, I'm glad you stopped by. I appreciate you hopping in for a moment or two. I don't know if Jeffrey is still streaming, but Art of Jeffrey was celebrating his 1,000th sale tonight with a bunch of giveaways and some cool art and stuff like that. I managed to watch for a little bit early on, but then had to do a few other things before my own stream. He is super cool, really talented artist. Lots of cool stuff was going on there. It was a fun stream. The little bit I got to hang out for. All right, quick roll call. Where's everybody watching from this evening? We got a few people. Oh, we got a couple people now. I thought we had a few at one point. Bob, where are you at? Oh, John. I'm in Florida too. I know. I asked for it. I'm not a very good host. I don't have a whole lot of questions. All right. The invitation to ride up to MegaCon is now off. All right. Here is what we're looking like so far on Joker. Not too shabby. It's coming along all right, I think. From a couple of recent streams, in case anybody was not around. There's a Completed Batman. I did, I think, add a little bit of embellishment to it post show, but there's our Dark Knight. And then we have our Gargoyles Quest cover here with Goliath. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Speaking of MegaCon, Quesada will be there as well. But I'm sure you already knew that. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I will not be partaking in that extra ticket. Welcome in, Michael. How are you doing this Friday night? And for anybody who might be watching over on YouTube, I appreciate you tuning in there as well. I pop over for a moment real quick and take a peek. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube as well. Is it still streaming on YouTube? Huh. Yeah, oh yeah. The live button just got unclicked on my end. It looked like it was stalled back at Pencil Sketch. All right. Moving right along. Welcome in, Draco. How are you doing? Ah. Hey, fanboy. How are you doing this evening? Welcome in. Hope you're having an awesome Friday night. I'm doing all right. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm just having some fun hanging out here, doing a little Joker drawing on a Friday night. It's been a good week. Gonna be a good weekend. Where are you watching from tonight? Oh, wow. Up in Canada. Well, thank you for taking a few minutes and tuning in. I am down in southeast Florida. Port St. Lucie, which if you happen to be a baseball fan, is known because the New York Mets spring train down here. If you're not a baseball fan, then we are on the east coast of Florida, sort of in between Orlando and West Palm. Welcome in, Cash Money. How are you doing? Fanboy, is there a Comic Con Revolution up your way in the near future? I feel like I saw something about that. Maybe I'm in the wrong part, though. Or maybe I'm just misremembering. That happens too. Welcome in, Alex. How are you? Ah, gotcha. Okay. Are you going to either of those? Gotcha. Fair enough. Sometimes the smaller cons are a little more fun because you get to spend a little more time with the folks, whoever shows up there. Who do you have on the? Is it already scheduled? Do you have any artists or any creators scheduled for that one? We just had a smaller show here where I live. I mean, it was a super small show, but it was fun because I got to actually table at that one, which I haven't done. Well, the biggest show I've tabled at was actually a Comic-Con Revolution when they did it down in Palm Beach. They had one in Palm Beach a few years ago. These days, when I see Comic-Con Revolution, it seems like they stay up north. They don't seem to come back down this way, which is kind of a bummer. I would probably consider tabling at that one again if it were nearby. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think I don't know if the entire group is coming, but I know I think a couple of them are coming to MegaCon in a couple weeks. So I'm gonna admit that I have bought the Absolute Wonder Woman books, and I am so far behind I haven't even read those yet. I need to get caught up on some reading. Which I don't know if John is still in the stream, but he probably hears me make that excuse a lot when I come into the shop. Although I read Behemoth. Behemoth was actually not too bad. Yeah, we're just entering. I think we're just sort of at the beginning of con season down here now, and or in the States, and well, Florida, I should say. I don't really know how the rest of the states are probably waiting to for some snow to melt, but con season is starting here in Florida, and they have quite a few throughout the year all around, especially like not just Florida. I'm rambling at this point, but if you get a chance to come down, you have plenty to choose from. I guess are the words that I'm trying to get out. So good luck. I hope you get to make it down to one day. So aside from Absolute Wonder Woman, what titles, what creators are you into? Well, Buffalo would be good, I'm sure. Yeah. Welcome in, Gary. How are you doing? Very good. Yeah, those books seem to be really popular these days. They've really found their audience pretty quickly, and I know a lot of people that really enjoy those books too. I enjoy the Void Rivals, which I know kind of was I don't know if it was the very first one. It was one of the early books in that whole universe. And as much as I love Transformers and GI Joe both growing up, I just haven't really given the books a chance. I don't know why. Just maybe it's because I have too much other stuff that I'm behind on reading, and I spend too much money on books as it is. Don't tell John I said that. But was it John? Yeah, I've got it. It's just another. It's another one of those that I am behind on reading, so I got to get caught up. But I enjoyed Void Rivals. That's a good series. Welcome in, Esmer. Welcome in, Aaron. Welcome in, anybody who I might have missed. Appreciate you all spending a few minutes at the drawing table with me. I'm looking. There it is. Nice. Yeah, I've was a little bit of a hoarder of blank sketch covers for a while. I think the blank sketch cover is probably my favorite sort of variant. And that's, a little self-serving for me just because I do enjoy drawing on them from time to time. But I got a bit of a box full of them here, and they're a little bit of a weakness for me when I start digging through books. Do you take those to the cons to get artists on them? My thing is I want to start looking for pages. I'm going to take a look around MegaCon when I go in a couple of weeks and see what types of pages are out there. I know they're probably going to weigh well out of my price range, but I want to at least get a sense of what's there and what I need to how many kidneys I need to sell to try to get a piece or a part of a piece later down the line. I have enough kidneys to spare a few, right? Oh, jam pieces, nice. Hi, Wop. How you doing? Yeah, I know. I know. That's why I'm probably setting myself up for disappointment, but we'll see. Even if there's interesting, um, like I want to call them previs, but it's not called previs. I call them something else. The roughs pages that they do, the kind of concept pages that they'll do sometimes. Maybe if there's even some of that, or roaming around Artist Alley. Even it doesn't have to be a huge name artist. If I just see some interesting pieces there. I might consider those. I'm up in the air. I've got a little bit of original art on my wall already that I've been lucky to snag over the years, but no pages. Well, I take it back. Well, that's not really pages. I have a couple of those Greg Capullo thumbnails that he offers up every holiday in like mystery boxes. So I have a few of those, but no bona fide pages or anything. Yeah, one of my friends who lives up at more in the Central Florida area, he goes to MegaCon a little more frequently than I do, and he has shown me he's got a portfolio full of pieces that he's managed to snag during the event, and sometimes he gets lucky and finds people willing to make deals. Or now he's not buying pages necessarily. He's got a few that he's usually buying other types of head sketches or head drawings or character drawings or things that they might have on their table already that they're trying to part with. So I don't know. Every time I go and visit him, I take a look at his collection, and I get a little envious. Hey, Fallen Knight, how are you? All right, I'm digging how this is coming along, but I think I'm getting close to. Well, no, not really. I got a few other things I still have to do, but I think it's taken me. Spend a little more time on this one. I will probably wrap it up after I have finished this one. Now I'm not finished yet, so we'll still hang out, but just so if there's anything in the bin you were thinking about maybe grabbing, if you're tempted for this, if anybody in the chat's tempted for this one, it should be pinned at the bottom. Um, Otherwise, I'm going to keep going and finish this one up. Yeah, I hear you, and I've definitely tried that with something. You're right. You're right on. Usually, if you go on the last day of those things, you can maybe work some deals. I am not able to go on the last day of MegaCon. In fact, I'm going on the second day of the 4-day show. So probably be a little limited with what I can do, but we'll see. I just enjoy conventions. Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's definitely a lot of options with that route too. What kind of pieces do you have on your art wall now? I'm going a little overboard with my Haas here, but Joker's a little bit of an overboard character, right? Actually, I kind of like that on the purple. Let's just go crazy, huh? Very good. X-Men was one of the books that I really dug growing up, and I still enjoy quite a bit of that. One of the pieces that I have on my wall is a Kitty Pryde that Todd Knock drew on a sticky note. He was doing those on Instagram a few years back, and if you saw him draw one, you could always message him and see if it was available or if it was a commission or whatnot. And that one happened to be available, and I was able to get it for a pretty good price, and it holds up pretty well. The sticky hasn't faded or anything, so I really like that piece. No, I haven't noticed him on Instagram so much, but he still pops up on YouTube every once in a while. Like his channel will occasionally. Um, I think a new video was just out recently. Actually, that's why I started thinking about him again. But you know, I've seen a few occasional posts about the books he's working on. He might be more on Blue Sky these days. I'm trying to remember if I saw him on there. But yeah, I haven't seen him do the same like sticky note type thing. Oh, sorry, fanboy. I think I might have some muted words set up on here, which I didn't realize. Um, but yeah, I see what you're saying, and yeah, I can imagine. I don't know what the shipping must be like there, but I know some. I know shipping can become a real adventure sometimes. I just don't usually tweak those settings. I mean, I guess I do try to keep it family friendly anyhow, but honestly, I'm also whatever settings come right out of the box are probably what I left on there. Oh gosh. Well, you must have some at least some Canadian artists on there, though, right? That kind of um, offsets it a little bit, maybe. I don't know. I guess you can tell it's getting late for me. I can't even make my words anymore. I hope these ha's I'm writing still look like ha's. Hey, Gary. Hey, Watson. How are you doing? Yeah, I gotcha. I know. Easier said than done sometimes, right? I think I called you Walkson, but it looks like you're Walks on Webs. So I apologize if I butchered your name a moment ago. Welcome in. My superpower is I can mess up anybody's names, and I usually do. But I appreciate you hanging out for a little bit. Do you set up at cons or just walk the floor? So I've tabled at 2 conventions so far. I'd like to do some more of those, but hasn't happened yet. But I do enjoy walking the con floors as well, and that's what I'll be doing with MegaCon in a couple of weeks. Is I'll just be walking the con floor there. I had a smaller show locally here in my hometown in November that I did table at. That was a lot of fun. And sometimes I get to go and set up shop at my local comic shop. Shout out Berserk Comics in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Not sure if John's still in the chat, but he's always been really good to us local artists. So we'll go and we'll do like free comic book day events or other types of things there, art jams, stuff like that, fun stuff like that. So I've been dipping my toes into the tabling world for some years now. I just gotta finally jump into the deep end of the pool, I guess. Yeah, I gotta say the LCS events are fun. We have a lot of fun. We've actually got some a pretty cool group of local talent down here. I'm friends with a few of them now. One of them I've been friends with since high school. But it's always cool to go hang out with them and um, see some familiar faces, meet some new folks, do some things like that. It's a lot of fun. And it's great when stuff is local too, so you don't have to um, spend on a hotel or do different things like that. Yeah, I'm hit or miss on crowds. I got to be in the right mindset to go do those activities. Oh, a couple of what happening? LCS events or something else? What's happening tomorrow? Nice. Those should be fun. I hope you have fun with those. So who do you like to watch here on Whatnot? I know Whatnot's become a pretty fun place. I mean, I say become. It's been a pretty fun place for a while for the arts scene. I see a lot of artists on here, and not necessarily the huge names that we all know, but it's like there's a whole subset of really talented, really good artists that I know specifically from Whatnot now. And I love when I'm able to kind of tune in and see a little bit of what they're doing and chat with what's going on with them and all that kind of stuff. So who on here do you find yourself watching a lot of? Yeah, I saw there was a raid train recently. I missed out on that. I've been kind of inconsistent with some of my own streaming lately, so I'm trying to rectify that. But I saw there was an artist raid train, which was really cool. It's cool that they did that. Oh, nice. I'm not sure I'm familiar with Def. I'll have to get my follow. See if I can do that right here. Yep, there we go. I am now following. Cool. Thanks for the recommendation there. All right. So I think I am getting close now. I just have a couple of small finishing touches on this Joker, and then I will probably call it a stream. Is there anybody streaming right now that we could raid after this? Maybe we'll toss a raid somewhere if there is someone. All right. Here's where we ended up. Do I do this full time? No, I wish. I work for my local county government down here in our doing some like communications type work, some public outreach work. I'd love to do something like this full time, but it hasn't quite been the right fit yet. But let's do this. Before I let y'all go, bear with me as I adjust. But we were talking art, so here's a few things that I have on my wall. Hey, Troll, welcome in. There's Batman by George Perez, the late, great George Perez. That was a 2014 free comic book day event. One of my friends who lives up in Central Florida, they grabbed that for me. I was real fortunate they were able to get that for me. Stan Sakai, we've got a Yosagi. There's a few of my own sticky notes. Those are some other things that I do. There's a few of these types of things in the bin, but I actually really started drawing on sticky notes after I saw some of that Todd Knox stuff. And speaking of, there's the Kitty Pryde that I mentioned that he drew. And he sent a nice little note along with it. Kitty Pryde, at least at the time, I believe he always said was his favorite X-Men character. So it was kind of cool, and I got one of those. This is a Ninja Boy from Ale Garza. This is a Artist in Wonderland print. I don't know if anybody's familiar, but 1000, who does a lot of YouTube art and some really, really incredible videos too. He got a whole bunch of YouTube artists together last year at his studio, and they did a whole bunch of different types of art projects. But to kick it all off, they collaborated on this print, and
I was able to get one of the ones that they had all signed. So I thought that was pretty cool. These are some of those little rough Greg Capullo sketches that I mentioned. This one was a page from We Have Demons. And then this was a Wolverine Revenge page. And real rough thumbnail from a Batman. Although that one's really, really interesting to see some of how they kind of ideate and come up with different things. Print from Alex Ross. Yeah, I actually have, and you know what? I have the Wolverine Revenge #2. It's still in the polybag though, but I need to probably check that out. I want to compare it, but I do want to find the other books to go along with it. Not necessarily professional, but I do have a published cover. In fact, I think one of those books is in the bin. But here's the original pencils. And then I printed those pencils, or I scanned the pencils and printed them as blue line to do some inks. Welcome in, Supa. And that is this book, Ice Canyon Monster, issue 3, which was published by Blood Moon Comics last year. So I was lucky enough to get a cover published. This up here is an original cartoon from Dave Kellett. He's a web cartoonist. Also one of the co-hosts of the Comic Lab podcast. Some more sticky notes that I've done. That's a Tom Grummett Iron Man. This was actually, I won this at a MegaCon a few years back, or in 2000, a handful of years back. They do these sketch duel events where a couple of artists come in and they come into one of the panel rooms and they take turns drawing different characters, and then at the end of the panel they'll give away the art. So that was one of those pieces. And then a couple things that I've done. This was just me messing around in Photoshop once. And then I had a web comic for off and on throughout a year, a handful of years back. This is one of my strips that I put on there. That was Lagoon Tunes. So I have that one hanging up. And then this is something that I drew back in the 1900s. So there's a few of the things I have on my wall. While we're at it, I can show you a couple more of the sketch covers I've drawn on. Deadpool versus Old Man Logan. We got some Turtles action happening here. And once again, the Joker that we worked on tonight. All right, thanks for hanging out with me, y'all. This was a fun one. I had a lot of fun here. I might just do a random raid. We've got a few people in the room still. Let's see who's going on right now that we could raid. Let's look at new sellers and see. I don't recognize anybody though. I'm not sure who's who on there. Anybody got any recommendations? You see anybody on right now that you think we should raid? Yeah, I'm gonna tap on pick for me. All right, this was picked one. We're gonna just go ahead and raid this one at random that
the app picked for me. All right, thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate y'all hanging out, and I will see you next time. Thanks, fanboy. Appreciate it.